make some zikr, but for the most part, you're working. And that work, when you are working, and when you are not disconnected from your Lord, that work becomes a work for Allah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just as He has made this whole world as a masjid, do you understand? He has permitted the Ummati Muhammad ﷺ to worship anywhere in this world. He has not given that right to any earlier ummats. They cannot just pray anywhere that they want to. Specific places only that are holy, other places they are not. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this whole world. We can pray, this ummah, we can pray at anywhere that we are inclined to pray. It is a big sunnah also, especially when you go to places where you know that people, Muslims are not there. So you just pray a couple of rakats there. You get the blessings also. So if you are now not disconnected from your Lord, you're remembering. You're doing your work, you'll remember your Lord. Several ways you can do it. But sometimes, sometimes people, they are working and they make zikr. They give salawats where they're working. It's okay, but I'm seeing so many people, you haven't come to that level yet. Because the more zikr, more salawats I'm seeing that you're making when you're doing your work, more ghaflat you are in doing the work. If that is stopping you from doing the work, don't. Because the point is what? Are you working or are you making a zikr? You're working. The work is more important now. And if you're running to do the work to help other people, to help your family, to help other people, you're running to do the work of Allah. Because you're not doing it now only for yourself. You're not doing it just to run for the pleasures of this dunya. You're running to help others. So that work that you're doing, it is already Allah's work. You understand? So you asked me a question. Shaban, Ramazan, Rajab, Shaban and Ramazan, we have a lot of energy to run, to do things. How to have that kind of energy in the rest of the months? Allah is not putting us under that pressure. Correct? He's saying 3 holy months. We're happy. We're not going to ask, why don't we have 6 holy months? Why do we have 8? 3 holy months? Good. What are the holy days now? In the other months are there holy days? Yes. Concentrate on those days. You want more? Every week there is a holy day, more holy than the 2 Eids that are combined. Jummah. Then concentrate on that day. The rest of the days, work for the sake of Allah. Remember Him for the sake of Allah. Then that time you can have more balance and you're not going to swing from one extreme to the other extreme. You're going to say, okay, our Shaykh is saying, from the Holy Prophet ﷺ, saying every day, the believer, his today must be better than yesterday. And his tomorrow has to be better than today. What does that mean? What does that mean now? No, I'm asking, what does that mean? Does it mean now that when you are praying 5 times a day today, tomorrow you're going to pray 10 times a day? Does that mean the next day you have to pray 20 times a day? No, it doesn't mean that. There are so many ways now. You can do this when a man thinks, and thinking is only given to mankind. Thinking, especially for a believer, it is the most important thing. It is not to follow something blindly. To think and to understand. First, you're going to think about yourself. Who am I? And understand yourself. I am so and so, I am Faraz. Okay? Does Faraz know Faraz? What is that meaning? Who gave that name? Have you discovered yourself? Have you discovered who you are? What is your purpose in this world? Have you discovered your friends? Have you discovered your enemies? Are you aware of the enemies that is looking like friends that you are keeping contact with every day? Are you aware of the friends who look like enemies, but they are only looking for your own good? Are you aware of that? The believer's tomorrow has to be better than today. You think, today I did this wrong. Tomorrow I'm making intention not to do that wrong. You win. Today I did so many things that are right. Yesterday I didn't do anything that is extra. You win. That heaviness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not demanding that from this nation, because this nation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created as weak. But what He has created strong in this nation is what? Is our will. So use that will. Maybe all that you can do all day long, you cannot do nothing, is just for one split second to renew your shahadat and to make the intention to be a better one, sincerely, not just pulling a tasbih, not just making a show in front of people, but sincerely, just you and your Lord, and say, I forgot you the whole day today. I'm renewing my shahadat. You think that is worthless in divine presence? That means everything in divine presence. Because the power of that shahadat can make an unbeliever to become a believer. The power of the shahadat can turn the unbeliever to become a believer, and if he dies, the next minute he goes straight to Jannat. The power of the shahadat can clean you. Are we believing in this? Or are we running to learn and swallow more Quran, swallow more hadith, swallow all these things, but we're not digesting it? There is no belief. Where is the will? And with that thinking and with that will, you're not going to be lazy. Don't say, oh, you're saying that, then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to say shahadat. Then you're just tricking yourself. You're just fooling yourself. That is not the point. The point is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making it very easy for this nation. He has not made things so easy for earlier nations. He's made it very easy for us. And with the ease, He has given us tremendous blessings. And with that ease, He has opened doors again for more blessings and more rahmat in holy days and holy nights. The man who is intelligent is going to say, when the sun is shining, that is the time I'm going to cut the grass and make the hay. Not when it is raining. I cannot now sit here and say, why Allah is making this rain to come? I want to cut the hay. No, He's going to find every season has its different secrets. Every season has its different secrets for worship. Every season has a different secret for you. Now, if you understand that, you're not going to force. You're going to go according to the season and according to the inspiration. Some days we can sit and you can make a lot of zikr. Some days you cannot. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making the zikr to be obligation? No. But at the same time, He's saying the zikr, it is the essence. Is the essence of worship. Because the worship, if you don't remember Allah, it is not acceptable. We prayed, you're going to fast. Go to the Hajj, you're not remembering Allah. Meaning, deep down inside, you're doing it for your own self, for your own sake. For everyone else, not doing it only for the sake of Allah. If you do that, there is no remembrance of Allah in that. You can go to Hajj 50 times. There's no remembrance of Allah there. Because going there is just to take selfies and to post it there. It's gone. It's gone. Here we're talking about purification. When something is pure, it cannot take any impurity in that. Even just a tiny drop, it is not pure anymore. You understand? we're not looking to just drink water. We want to drink pure water. If you just want to drink water because you're thirsty, you say, we don't care for pure and pure. Say, you go your way. That is your way. But if you want to drink from the pure water, then you have to not look at the purity of the water, but you have to look at the impurity of the water and take that out. Then you understand yourself and you're going to say, today I was impure in this and this. Tomorrow I'm making the intention, just the intention alone, just the will alone, that is enough for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us. Because the most important thing in every action is the intention. And the man who is sincere, he's not just going to sit with his intention. Because you say, if I sit and I just intend and I don't do anything, I may actually be called a hypocrite, correct? So now he's going to, by himself, he's going to push to become a bit more sincere and to do the things that is going to make his heart to be satisfied. So again, the knowledge is to know yourself. Understanding this is the time where I can do this, this is the time I cannot do this so much, I cannot make zikr so much. What can I do? I still want to do it. Maybe I'm going to increase sadaqah. Maybe I can't even make sadaqah. Maybe I'm just not going to be angry so much. I'm going to smile. I'm going to become a bit more patient. Maybe I'm just going to take things that I don't like that is happening in my life. Someone shouted at me, someone said something, someone did something. And I'm just going to be more patient with that. To say, well, this is the zakat. This is the zakat. I have such a good life. A little bit is uncomfortable. Why am I complaining? Let it be. You think Allah is not watching? Allah is watching. And He's looking. This is what you can do in the rest of the months. Of course, all the months of Allah, all the months, they belong to Allah. The 3 months, the most sacred months. There are 5 holy nights, 4 of them are hidden in these 3 months of Rajab, Shaban and Ramazan. I'm saying this and I'm going to continue saying this, inshallah, until the day I die. Preparing ourselves for these months, preparing ourselves. Think, we enter to the month of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the first holy night in the month of Rajab Shahrullah has to do with who? The Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. There is a very big secret to that. Because it is the month of Allah, but the 2 dates belonging to the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Because the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he is Allah's biggest gift. Not only to the whole universe because he's Rahmatil Alameen, but especially to us because we belong to his nation. One is about his light that is passing from his father to his mother, and one is about him, of course, his light passing from here to divine presence. But preparation, these are the 2 holy nights where if you sit and you just think, don't go reading too much. You don't know who is reading, who is writing all these things. Who is the person compiling this? I see so many religious books, spiritual books out there. I turn the page, they don't even have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. How are you going to continue then without the name of Allah? We finish these 2 nights that are holy. And both these 2 nights, Prophet ﷺ, he was sent here not for himself, he was sent here for his ummah. So the connection there is very clear. He went to the Mi'raj to meet his beloved, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the biggest gifts is for his ummah, and every station that he reached to, every gift that was bestowed to him, he says, what about my ummah? Ya Rabbi, what about my ummah? 50 times we're supposed to pray. But him, understanding the weakness, through the conversation with who? Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, he reduced it to 5 times. But we get the reward as if we worship 50 times a day. You're asking me, what can we do? Just that, to pray, maybe Zuhur or Asr, And just to take a split second to say, Ya Rabbi, Shukur, Ya Rabbi, that you have given me this honor to worship you. We are worshipping the same way that the prophets are worshipping. That worshipping once is like worshipping 10 times to you, because the reward of 50 times a day is given in that 5 times a day. Just to think, just to be valuing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thanking Him, this means to Allah more than you staying up whole night, going up and down, but there's no passion, there is no love. You're doing it because you want something. You're doing it because you're afraid if you don't do it, Allah is going to punish you. Understand? Just to think, simple, like that. But Laylatul Raghaib, Laylatul Mi'raj, it has to do with us. And in the middle of the month of the Prophet ﷺ, 2 dates that is in the month of Allah is not, it's about the Prophet, but it's not in the month of the Prophet ﷺ. It's in the month of the Prophet ﷺ, the 15th of Rajab, has to do with what? Us, his ummah. Laylatul Bara. Laylatul Bara. It is as if the most important thing to Allah, of course, is His Habib. Correct? It is clear. And the most important thing to His Habib is His Ummah. You understand? And now, in the Laylatul Bara, Barat, it is a time when we be given that Barat. We must prepare ourselves, because that is the night when every record that we have done through the whole year is going to be sealed and sent. And whatever that we have done for the past year, it will be, the next year will be according to that. If we're running more to dunya and not akhirat, the next year will be more sunk into dunya. If we are running for akhirat, even if you're running in the dunya, but you are aiming for the akhirat, the next year, after the barat, it'll be more open for you to do that. And in the month of Ramazan, who is it for? Is it for the Prophet ﷺ? It is for the Ummah. And that Ramazan is the month of the Ummah. And in that it is hidden a very special night. The night that is better than 1,000 months. The night of Qadr. And that night of Qadr, it is for us. It is for us to understand the greatness of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, and for us to understand the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is given to us. Understand? We cannot live like what the Turks are saying. Treat every night like it is Laylatul Qadr. And treat every person that you meet as if he's Hizr alayhi salam. But you must try. There was a time when they took those words very seriously. When you are saying, now, Ya Rabbi, because of that hadith, because of that saying, I cannot do too much. But now let me just quickly pray 2 rakats for the sake. Not for the sake, oh, I want more blessings and more blessing and more blessing, but saying, Ya Rabbi, for the sake that it pleases you. For the sake that maybe tonight is going to be Laylatul Qadr, I'm just going to pray for your sake quickly. You think that action is worthless in the sight of Allah? That action will be beloved in the sight of Allah. This is for me first and for everyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not looking for big things that you do once in a while, correct? He's looking for the small things that you're doing consistently, because that shows your sincerity. Inshallah. This is important. We're going to enter into Laylatul Mi'raj soon, and Barat soon. Watch ourselves a little bit. Half of the month have passed. If you slip a little bit, make sure you stand up quickly and put more intention, inshallah, not to let these nights and these days to pass empty. وَمِنَ اللَّهُ تَوْفِيقَ الْفَاتِحَةِ. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Right.